me say a special good morning to those of you listening to Classic Radio 105.5, 105.9. Those of you viewing us via GBN TV, whether it's Channel 7, Channel 11, Channel 20. Good morning to you all. So welcome. It's to the point. It's Thursday, the 5th day of December 2024. Representing us is of course, the Criminal Investigation Department. Usually on Thursdays, we do have various departments within the RGPF, and the Criminal Investigation Department is with us this morning. And we have Corporal Antoine with us this morning. And our conversation will be around, prioritizing homes and business safety for the season and so forth. And Corporal Antoine, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning to you. And let me say good morning to the listeners and the viewers. And good morning to the persons in the diaspora as well.
All right.
I'm happy to be here.
All right. And you certainly took the lead on me with that. I didn't say good morning to those in the diaspora this morning. So those of you via various platforms, especially the YouTube channel, Facebook page, good morning to you. Those of you via, of course, GBN's webpage, gbn.gd, good morning. And thanks for being with us this morning. So our conversation this morning, usually around this time of the year, and it's not only around this time of the year, but the safety of your home and your business should always be a priority.
That is so.
In some way or the other.
And that is so. Around Christmas and other heightened time of the year, including Carnival and the Easter, we normally see an increase in property crime.
Okay.
Right? You may ask, what is property crime? Property crime basically is crimes that is committed against persons' property. So, for example, we have stealing, we have damage to property, arson, etc. The most common being stealing,
yes.
Different larceny, right? And we normally see an increase. And hence the reason why around these times the police take the lead in trying to sensitize the public on the do's and don'ts so that we can minimize persons being robbed or being victim to crime.
All right. Sometimes it's just the option of individual just being thrown out of the motion that they roll through for the rest of their lives. They had earned, property that they own and stuff, getting it in the hands of someone else in the manner in which it's done. Sometimes it's really a thrown off for individuals.
Yes. Sometimes as persons who these crimes would have been committed against, you feel offended.
Yeah.
You could imagine someone goes into your home and steals certain items that you work so hard for. Some of them you have sentimental value to them. It makes one feel very offended.
Let's talk a wee bit in terms of how folks can safeguard their homes. Let's start with the homes as a start this morning. Your homes, the security. There's lots of ways you can secure your personal possession, especially within your home. What sort of advice would you like to throw to, of course, our listeners of you this morning in terms of ways that they can, see, especially their personal possessions and so forth, ways they can do to have that secured safely?
Right. So I come bearing good news.
Yeah.
That a lot of the instances, property crime could be avoided, prevented.
Yeah.
We have what is known as the crime triangle. Okay. Right? We have desire, ability, and opportunity. From time to time, we will meet persons who have the desire to commit crime. And they may have the ability. Some of them may have breaking implements. They may have the skills. Some of them could climb and pass through small spaces in the window.
They had some practice.
It's almost like they had practice. But what we do have is the opportunity. That is what we control.
Yes.
And that's where we comes in. We as citizens, we as homeowners, we as police officers, passing on the message that if not given the opportunity, it's very rare that a crime of that nature could be committed. Yeah. Right? So, what do we do to prevent them from getting the opportunity? We leave at home. It doesn't take us a minute to double check. All our doors and windows are locked.
Yes.
Right? We may know that based on what we have to do for the day, we may come home late. So we don't want to put on our security lights. Right? We understand that we're living in modern times. And it wouldn't be a bad idea to install some cameras.
Yes.
And a lot of people say, well, it comes with a cost. Yes, it comes with a cost. But how much would you pay for safety and security?
But it pays off in the long run, eh?
Exactly.
It pays off in the long run.
Because it shows that we at the Criminal Investigation Department, when we do have footage, a lot of the times we solve those crimes. And those persons, the perpetrators, is being brought to justice.
And you know, sometimes it also works as a deterrent for some reason or the other.
Exactly.
An individual just noticing there's a camera in your around your house have the tendency of not wanting to intrude anymore. They have a camera. It's just to be deterred just like that.
Yes, and still on the opportunity. Gone are the days where we leave keys below mat and below flower pots.
Yeah.
That's a no-no. Please, I'm pleading that we have moved on. Our society have moved on, and that norm is getting people in serious trouble. So for this Christmas season, please do not leave your key below the flower pot or below the mat or some funny place in your veranda or below some shelf or something below the house or something.
Yeah, even please. Though it looks inconspicuous, it could be easily found. That
yes.
You know.
So these are some of the ways that we could avoid criminals from really causing us the headache and the heartache right in front of Christmas. Yeah, as homeowners. Right? Business owners. We also would want to speak to you as business owners. Right? Speaking about the same CCTV cameras. Ensure that if you had a couple that wasn't working, ensure that all of them are working now.
Yes.
Right? And we all know that this is Christmas time, and a lot of stores and supermarket is going to see an influx of more people in the various business places. So it wouldn't hurt to hire couple security if you don't have,
so that you can
have extra eyes.
Yes.
Persons just being observant of persons coming and shop. Also, we encourage businesses to speak to the employees and let them know that they need to be observant, because there's a lot of criminal element out there that will come with a crew, as we will say, and somebody's work is to distract while somebody else steal. So extra eyes would be very, very good to have in your business.
All right. Understandably so. And I certainly hope the homeowners and business owners now are taking this advice, to heart and make the necessary changes. That will just ease the pressure on you. After all, you may have to do for the upcoming season. You don't have to worry about someone, coming and steal your property and so forth. I mean, all the supermarkets and the stores and stuff around this year, there's more people visiting these establishments more than usual for various reasons.
Even the businesses that do delivery.
Yeah.
I do know that the Criminal Investigation Department, we have taken it upon ourselves to meet with a lot of the companies that have delivery trucks and goods truck that goes out in the daytime. And we have spoken to a number of them and some of the do's and don'ts and how to protect themselves and how to return safely with the cash that they made.
Yeah, because, it leads to my next set of question I was going to ask. Around this time of the year, homeowners, businesses, you become a target for some reason around this time of the year. Folks will be targeting you for various reasons, especially, as you mentioned, the delivery trucks and so forth, homes and so forth. You become a target. How can individuals really minimize that to a point in terms of you becoming a target? The do's and don'ts, as you mentioned, you said you did visit. I mean, you may not want to give out all the details, but they are the basic ones that folks should adhere to that will eliminate individuals want to target them because of these various reasons, especially delivery trucks and businesses on a whole. You didn't speak about the security cameras, but there are always other options, other things you can do to minimize you becoming a target.
Yeah, one of the things that we always encourage is really you need to be observant.
Yeah.
Observation pays off, because you could be doing delivery in different areas over for the past year, and you realize you're going in a particular community, a particular area, and you realize something is out of place.
For like rubbing your feet, your routine too.
Certain guys, and you watch their demeanor.
Yeah.
And sometimes something tell you, no, it's not a good time to sell to this shop here. I'll go and return.
Yeah. A bit of change of pattern or your pattern.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that is one of the things that we encourage the delivery. Do not, especially around this time of the year, just have one pattern. One special time you reach one special place, you try to mix it up.
Using the same route.
Using the same route.
Folks are observing that for every Monday you've been passing that particularly route every Monday.
Exactly.
What about time factors too? Does that play a role in terms of delivery times and so forth? How important, of course, in changing that routine in terms of time? For some reason, folks are getting things delivered later than usual now.
Yes.
You don't understand. Is time an important option that folks should look into?
Yeah, time is always important. And the time of day dictates a lot of things. And it comes back to, it's just basically you as an individual thinking security.
Yes.
What are the possibilities? And as we spoke about the different routes, it have areas that is not that lit.
Yeah. Right?
It have areas that you would have information that in the past certain things would have happened there.
Yeah.
That you wouldn't want to be there late. So you will try to, even though that is en route for your day work, you will try to go there earlier.
All right.
Right? I won't pinpoint a specific place, but we all know that there is certain areas in the past where trucks would have gotten robbed and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So we should know the history of the area as well.
All right.
Of being observant.
And even on people personal, on your personal property and businesses, sometimes folks have the opportunity now that your businesses are more visited more frequently. The more cash is being available. Folks have more cash is really available within their establishment.
So that's the point I was coming to.
Mm-hmm.
I call it make a money plan.
Yeah.
Plan what you're doing with your cash.
Make a money plan.
Yes. So plan the amount of money that you would want to have in a register at any given time, because we all know that with the amount of persons that will be visiting those businesses and you would be having more cash at hand.
Yeah.
Right? So make a money plan to know how often do I check the register and what is the volume of cash should I keep there.
Yeah.
And what is the plan to deposit? Do I get the police involved? Do I hire a private security firm? What are the time of days? How we stagger the times? And all of those are things that we encourage the business owners to take into consideration.
Am I using the same individual to do the deposit on a daily basis? So no one will pick up that. And it goes back to routine once again. There's a particular. Yes, that particular individual is the one that's always been seen going to the bank, and they know they're associated with your business also.
Yes, we also encourage and advise persons in our society when shopping.
Yeah.
People, especially ladies, they have this handbag, and sometimes it's open. You're seeing their phone, you're seeing their wallet, you're seeing their purse. We encourage persons to be more proactive in their personal security.
That's so true.
So you have your bag.
It may not always be the money that they're after.
Exactly. So you would want to ensure that your bags are closed.
Yeah.
Right? So if somebody have to get into it, they have to literally open it, unzip it or whatever is the case, and that would be able to alert you. Also, when going out to events, we all know that there would be a number of events happening from now until from now until New Year's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cash, walking with cash. If there isn't a need to walk with large sums of cash, then you shouldn't.
All right.
You shouldn't expose cash, because you're literally are actually advertising for yourself to be robbed, and it's possible.
Okay.
When person sees you with that amount of cash, then alarm bells goes off.
All right.
Right?
All right. Corporal Antoine, we suddenly due for a break. Let's take it. When we come back, we continue with our conversation this morning. It's To The Point, Classic Radio, GBN TV. Stay with us, folks. We're talking this morning here with the Criminal Investigation Department. We have Corporal Antoine with us this morning. And we're talking prioritizing home and business safety for nobody. It's not always just for the Christmas season, but, this advice can help you through the entire year also. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Don't touch your dial, folks.
Tourism is me, tourism is you, tourism is everybody, and tourism connects us all.
Did you know that tourism generates revenue and foreign exchange earnings?
Did you know it stimulates infrastructural development and facilitates cultural exchange among people?
You must know tourism is linked to all industries,
from agriculture to construction.
So support the industry today and be welcoming to all our visitors.
Tourism is my business. Tourism is your business. Tourism is our business. Listen, one and all. Tourism connects us all.
A message from the Ministry of Tourism
and the Grenada Tourism Authority.
Hello everyone, here is an invitation to join me this and every Sunday until December 22nd for Yuletide Sundays, GBN TV and K105 FM from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. as we feature the best in traditional Christmas music and the opportunity to win great gifts including cakes, hams and a range of beverages. Yuletide Sundays, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. until December 22nd. Compliments Grenville Credit Union, Grenada Paper Products, Carries the Light, and Vibe Island Drinks Hard Seltzer.
Looking to take your business to new heights? Advertise with GBN on our social media platforms and get noticed by our 138,000 plus followers. Reach a massive engaged audience ready to connect with your brand. No matter your business size, GBN is here to help you grow. Contact us today at admin@gbn.gd or WhatsApp 407-8458 to get started.
I'm Stacia Blake with GBN News. From all of us here at the Grenada Broadcasting Network, we wish you and your family a joyous
Classic Radio, GBN TV. We're back here this morning on the program. Of course, we're speaking to Corporal Antoine from the Criminal Investigation Department, and we're talking prioritizing home and business safety. Corporal Antoine, welcome back once again. Let's talk about some of those prevalent property offenses that actually takes place, locally. And what folks should do to, make sure that those particular offenses doesn't occur. What they do's and don'ts, once again. Those most prevalent property offenses that we see happening.
Well, as I was saying earlier on, stealing and stealing, house breaking. A lot of people have their homes broken into. And a lot of the times, they forget a window. Remember, a wire mesh is not a window lock.
Yeah.
Right? A wire mesh is just to keep out mosquito and other crawling insect. And a lot of people say they...
There's a lot of security. Level of security.
I left my mesh in the window. Please, ensure that your house is properly secure by locking all doors and windows.
Yeah.
As I said, it shouldn't take you a minute before you leave home to ensure or make sure or check over, double check that your home is properly secured, right? Stealing in general, cell phones and other gadgets, they vaporize very easy if you're not attending to them. Yeah. If you're resting down somewhere, you forget it on some wall or some counter, you go shopping, right? Always be mindful of that. Basically, stealing is the most prevalent crime around now. Right?
No, there's always the emphasis of folks to put a lot in talking to family members, businesses, talking to their employees. You did mention that to a point already. Those safety tips that businesses should put a lot of emphasis on. You understand, in terms of the overall safety, and even at homes, parents talking to their sons and daughters, the do's and don'ts. Sometimes folks get a little bit complacent because of the area living. You may feel that I'm living close to numerous individuals. No one would probably think of wanting to come in because of neighbors here, there, or there in the close proximity. What are some of those safety tips you'd like to throw there, especially for for citizens out there, in terms of what they should put a lot of emphasis on, that they need to emphasize on a whole lot?
Right. Speaking to the women, we encourage women that when you all go out, you all don't walk by yourself. You try to go in groups, right? You try to take a route that is properly lit, right? Because we might know certain areas there isn't that much street light, or there isn't street light. We don't want to pass in areas where it is lit, so that we don't give persons the opportunity to rob or to commit other offense against the person, harm offense, sexual offense, right? We also encourage persons the consumption of alcohol, right? A lot of the times when it comes to harm offense and especially sexual offense against women, right? Alcohol plays a role a lot of the times. So we ask that you consume the amount of alcohol that you can carry, that your judgment wouldn't be, distorted. So in other words, people prey on females that is drunk. So you don't want to get yourself drunk, especially if you don't have good company around you. So your alcohol consumption should be taken into consideration when you go out for the holidays.
Okay. All right. Now, my next line of question goes in a way, of course, you did speak a while ago in terms of the offenses that could occur to individual. Now, in the case of someone attacks you for some reason or the other, what advice would you give to an individual, especially someone intends to rob you, per se, and they attacks you? What would you advise individuals to do? Do you fight back? Do you, your life is more important to a point there now. You understand? Than the property that you may be losing. Yes, that's also, you may be upset that you're really losing your personal possessions. But what advice would you offer to individuals out there, especially when the situation arises that even in businesses or in your homes or you're walking along the street in places that may not be properly lit and so, what advice would you offer to individuals when someone wants to harm you in that particular, commit an offense around you in terms of wanting to steal your personal possession? What advice would you offer them?
Yes. So the advice from the RGPF normally is for businesses, the drivers of the different goods shop. Somebody comes at you to rob the bag, you let them have it.
Yeah.
Because there would be an investigation, and more often than not, those perpetrators are caught, and the full justice system goes into play.
Yeah.
Right? We wouldn't want you to lose your life or get seriously injured. So, like for business owners, like for any private citizen, you should basically not put up a fight, especially if you know that you're not good in fighting. Right? You should. Let's face it. Some of the material things that we have.
Yeah.
Many of us over the past couple of years, we would have had 3 and 4 phones.
And you can survive without it for a little bit.
And we can survive without it for a little bit.
Yeah.
So you come to grab the phone and we let them have it.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is most of those phones now is easily traced. And once your location is turned on, we have a high success rate of finding those phones and returning it to the rightful owner. So I don't think you should be fighting or putting up certain resistance that could cause you to get seriously injured or even lose your life.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's best to let the perpetrator let them have it.
Let them have it for now.
And report the matter to the police and have that dealt with.
Just try to be observant in the process. I know, based on speaking with a lot of persons who would have been robbed also, it's a traumatizing moment. It's very traumatizing going through those moments. But we still asking that you try to be observant, see what it is that you could remember the person's face, what they were wearing, if they have a tattoo, whatever it is that you could remember, so that when it is that you report into the police, you give the police something substantial to start off the investigation, and so that we can bring these matters to court and bring these persons to justice as soon as possible.
All right. And it's also the importance to be aware of your surroundings.
Exactly. Your surrounding, and it goes back to, again, observation, and we're asking person to be observant. If you find something out of place, you walk in, you realize you're hearing noises and stuff like that, something, alarm bell should be going off.
Yeah.
Maybe you should walk faster. Maybe you should get to the lit area faster. Right? Maybe you should call the police and let them know that yes, I'm walking and this is what
I'm observing what is taking place, and I don't feel comfortable in terms of what I'm taking notice to.
And you can always get the police at 911.
Yeah.
You call 911 and they will patch you on to the station or department closest to where you're making that report from. Right? So there shouldn't be an issue there.
All right.
There is always the police. You call the police and we would respond accordingly.
We continue to throw these advice on a yearly basis, always. How important it is for an individual to adhere to these advice that we're throwing out here this morning, personally, folks with their homes, businesses, etc. How is it important for folks to adhere to these advice?
Well, it's really important to know, because let's face it, you work and you're on and you work hard, and some of those things on them that you have is costly, right? It's costly, and to just have it taken away from you, and you'll be robbed in those kind of manner, in you losing in split seconds. When you wait, again, as I said, the opportunity. If we don't give these people the opportunity, then we get to enjoy the fullness of what it is that we work hard and own and bought and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it is important, and it's not just for we as the police that we don't have to respond to an incident, but it saves you the trouble.
Yeah.
Because as I said, in the case of some violent robbery, you can get seriously injured and you can even lose your life. It has had that in the past.
All right.
Right? And one always has to be mindful. There's safety and security. Right?
No, in relative to the police themselves as a unit and going around, how has businesses been responding to advice of this nature? Are the police going around and talking to businesses? Does that really happen? Do we have folks in various departments that are going around talking to businesses in terms of knowing the time of the year that we're into right now? How has that been taking place at all in terms of police going? Yes, we're doing it here now, but has there been that with particular business that over the years has always been prone to these particular offenses happening to them? Has there been acceptance of these particular advice thrown out to them?
Yes, I must say that the Criminal Investigation Department, under the leadership of ASP Hall, has taken it upon ourselves to really engage with business owners. As I said earlier in this year and before the season, in the starting of the season, which we normally call the utile season, and we have the unrolling of the utile operation, and right now this is ongoing.
Yes.
Part of it was sensitization of businesses And all CID departments throughout the length and breadth of Grenada have been engaged with businesses throughout, giving them safety tips, and just being there to speak and remind business owners and workers of the do's and the don'ts. And I can safely say from where I sit that we have been doing that, and we see that thus far it's paying off, because there isn't any report of any major incident.
Yes.
Thus far.
All right. I mean, we're still going to hear of the petty crimes that are happening,
Yes,
the petty
yes,
thefts and so
yes,
forth that are happening.
yes,
I mean, sometimes it's not always that easy for a single individual wanting to do something. Someone can decide to go into town today with their mindset just wanting to do that. And not always the police going to be there. But if the businesses set their business up in a particular way, it could be minimized a whole lot.
Right. And that is the message, really, to business owners, to citizens out there, to be mindful that we are in the Christmas season. A lot of people want to be able to give gifts, buy stuff, and it's not everybody that is willing and wanting to work and to own it the
right way.
The right way.
Yeah.
So we have to be mindful. There is persons in our society who has criminal mindset, and it doesn't matter what. They are hell-bent on committing crime. Right?
And sometimes, even though they see the option is available where they can get caught, but they're still going to try it.
Exactly. So that is why we really encouraging persons out there for this Christmas season. Let this Christmas 2024 be one of the safest Christmas with the lowest, if not no major incident reported. And that's why we out front in the public. And we're not only doing media engagement, we're also doing our community outreach.
Okay.
We're in the communities, speaking to persons, homeowners. We're also doing our patrols, foot patrol, mobile patrol. You can see us with our visibility patrol in the night, and we'll be checking a lot of the places that is prone to crime, and we'll be doing our patrols. We also would have various operations at different times.
Yeah.
Right? And so I can let the public know that you can rest assured that the police, we are doing every single thing in our power. And we're using all our resources to ensure that the safety and security of every citizen is at heart.
All right. Okay, something the public need that bit of a reassurance that they have someone, as we'd say in local terms, to watch their back. You understand? And that's where the police comes in.
Yes.
All right.
And in addition, we also normally around Christmas and Carnival we have zero tolerance for offensive weapons. But we do know that our gun laws have changed, and there was an amnesty earlier in this year.
Yes.
So we're also asking persons to be more patient in dealing with others, and the consumption of alcohol again comes up, because we realize when persons drink, they tend to not really think through their
Once their mindset gets distorted in that way, it can occur.
And sometimes in speaking to persons after it has all been said and done, they wish they could go back and make a different decision. So we call for conflict resolution. Walking away is always a good option, right? Yeah. Walking away is always a good option, because most persons, when you speak to them, if they had to do it all over, they would simply just walk away because they didn't want it.
Yeah, and if they took the opportunity to think twice in the first instance, you would not have gotten to the distance that they have gotten to.
Exactly.
Yeah. We drew for a break once again, and the next segment, folks, if you listeners and viewers, if you do have a question or two you may like to ask the officer this morning, feel free to do so in the next segment. We drew for a break. Let's take it. We coming right back. Don't touch it out.
Stacia Blake with GBN News. From all of us here at the Grenada Broadcasting Network, we wish you and your family a joyous holiday season filled with peace, love, and happiness. Thank you for continuing to make GBN our nation's #1 newscast. It's been our honor throughout 2024 to bring you timely updates of local and international news, and we'll continue to earn your trust as we move into 2025. We wish our beautiful island nation God's continued protection as we move forward as one people who are on one journey with one future. Happy holidays from the GBN News team.
Grenada, get ready to celebrate.
Welcome back once again, listeners. Welcome back, viewers, to The Point, Classic Radio, GBN TV. Don't forget, as I mentioned before the break, the lines are open to you now, our listeners and viewers out there, 435-204, if you do have a question or two. And let's take some call before we get into the next segment of the conversation. We do have a caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Yeah, this is direct to the police officer. I don't know if you could tell me, why is it that some of the policemen, if they are wrong, allow some drivers to park on both sides of the road?
Caller, we're not talking traffic this morning for some reason or the other. We're not talking traffic, all right? Okay. 435-204, we're not talking traffic offenses for now. That's not the conversation we're having. We're talking safety in general. But that's I question that pretty elastic also plays an important role around this time of the year. Folks have their livestock and so forth. What kind of advice you would like to throw to individuals on that level, just before we finish this segment?
Yes, so we would have realized in recent time there is an increase in the stealing of livestock, especially our animals. And we want to encourage animal owners that, especially in evening times, you bring your animal close to your homes.
Yeah.
Because, sometimes I be traversing the road and midnight and you see animal tie on the side of the road. And we have the information that persons going around stealing people goats and sheep, even in some cases cow.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think that you should have your animals out by the road and out in the bushes, especially in the night. It shouldn't take that much from you to, as evening comes, that you get your animal and put it closer to home. Closer to home.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. We do have another caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Good morning, brother, and good morning to the office. We talk about pretty elastic, and sometimes other time maybe I should be a police because it's as simple as that. Now, how the police operate? After somebody they get the report, they go out and search. And then if they catch, if they get back the animal, they get back the animal. It's like a luck on chance. What the police should do, set up what you call undercover butchers. Undercover cop as a butcher. Right? Go along in communities, ask for animal to buy. Then individual who is thieves, going to contact them and tell them they have animals to sell. Then when you realize that person is a thief, you arrest them and charge them for thieving animals. Instead, you wait until you get a report. Be proactive. Set up undercover cops as butchers. You find somebody in St. George's who might be a police officer, you send them up in St. Patrick's. You go and ask for an animal to buy. You cannot sit down and wait for something to happen and go around and look all in bush all about the place for animal. Doesn't make any sense. The thieves and them are in the communities. So when they thief something, they call the butcher. So you set up that kind of thing in place. When you catch them, a few of them, and you jail them, then the rest are going to realize, you know what? You don't want it because you have undercover cops. Well, they might not know if you're undercover cops, but they go see the friends and the families going in jail for thieving, and they would stop it. But if you continue down that road as we're going on right now, like say, it's more thieves and more thieves and more thieves and more thieves, and the police can't really do anything about it because why? The police are what you call. They go and look for it after 2 days they're looking for it, they're done with that case. They can't find it. But set up undercover cop as stings. when the communities go into places where you know you have that problem, and they find them out to buy, and then the teacher they go, find an animal and call you. When they call you, you pick up the animal, you come back and you arrest them. But teaching animals, and they would see how fast this thing is going to stop in this country. Have a nice day, brother.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. You want to respond to the caller, officer?
Yes, sure. What I do know, and I could say, is that the police, we have good working relation with a lot of the butchers.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of instances that I know personally where butchers would have given us the heads up, and we would have gotten back person's animal and bring persons to justice. However, as we said, that there is persons with criminal intent, and not everybody you're going to find that is honest. But there is butchers out there that work hand in hand with the police officers, and we have a good rapport with most of them, I would say.
All right. At what rate are we seeing a lot of these incidents are getting resolved, especially, the pretty larceny for one, the breaking into homes and so forth? What kind of stats can you say if you do have that information this morning in terms of a lot of these they've been solved a whole lot? Are we getting these been solved?
Well, what I do know is a lot of it is being solved, but I do not have the exact statistic in front of me, so I wouldn't want to veer into that much.
All right.
Because I don't want to mislead anybody this morning.
But a lot of it has been getting solved.
Yes, a lot of it
getting
is
solved.
being solved.
We do have another caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Hi, good morning to you and to the officer. A couple of things. First of all, the officer mentioned about people bringing the animals close to home at night. Well, I mean, if you have one goat or sheep or something like that, it's possible. But if you have a large herd, or if you have cattle, it is not practical to take these things home. We're assuming that people have very, very small holdings and they have just a couple of animals, and they have space around their homes where they can safely and in a healthy way keep the animals. So I think we have to look beyond that ability of the few who can actually take them home with them. So I think we have to be practical here. Secondly, on the matter of the undercover cop/butcher, you must have a suspect. When you do sting operations, either you have the intelligence from somewhere else, some other source, and you suspect someone. You can't just go to you can't come to me and try to be an undercover butcher with me. To me, you must have a suspect. And I'm not sure what kind of intelligence gathering is done by the cops. When they have that kind of intelligence, then they can do sting operations. But if you're just waiting on people to come and make reports and other things like that, and you don't have a network to collect data, then you have nothing to work with. And that's just my thoughts on those 2 points from you and from the caller. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Any response to the caller in terms of what he said? Some of the suggestions you thrown out?
Points well taken.
435-2041. We have approximately 10 more minutes left on today's program. If you do have a question or two as relates to the safety we're talking about this morning here on today's program, of course, we have, Corporal Antoine with us this morning. We're talking prioritizing home and business safety in general, and we are suddenly taking your call. We do have a caller via WhatsApp. WhatsApp caller, good morning, you're live.
Good morning, I'm GT. Good morning, officer. I have a quick question, a suggestion, a matter of fact. I heard this farmer from River Starley. I think he's a livestock farmer, because I think one time he had mentioned that he's lost his animal and he had to get together with some other farmers, and they found other animals. So my suggestion to Colin, all right, why don't he and other farmers in his area that have livestock, from this little group, where they could go around and assist one another, because sometimes we depend on the police for the predial larceny. All right, it's true, but then you have to form little groups when you have like livestock together. You guys have meeting, when our farmer said that he lost his one of his animal, whatever, you guys go around, and all you help assist the police like that. But if you're going to depend on the police to do everything like that, the police can do everything. you have to form little groups too. You know, so that's my suggestion to Colin.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. We do have another caller. Caller, good morning, you're live.
Thank you very much, Mr. Telesford. Greetings and greetings to your guest. I'm here as a pedantic provocateur. I wish to make the observation. A while ago, a gentleman called in and he suggested about the sting operations and the undercover agents and so on. I consider it to be a seriously important thing for consideration. But your police officer responded, your guess. Yes, his words, we would have had good contact or frequent contact with butchers and so on, and we would have collected information and so. Well, it is obvious, my dear brother, that if you would have done all of that, that you did not do it. That is why you're not getting success. Check it out. Check out that would have plus the past participle. It is wrongly employed. You're giving that for the people who understand the English language. You're lying. For what it's worth, Mr. Telesford, we have a nice day. Will you, sir?
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. 435-2041, 435. And you want to respond to the caller in terms of his...
The caller had me kind of lost because what I said is that I had personal experience where we gotten information from butchers that led to us getting back animals and bringing persons to justice.
Yeah.
And I believe that is what I said.
Okay. Let's take another caller. Caller, your life. Good morning.
Yes, bro. I'm calling back because I think the officer, don't understand how this thing go. No, you know the game about I give you one and I take six. Butchers will give you information based on one animal to make you think that they're good and they're being honest. You're working with the police, but they are thieves. Example: there was a farmer that tell me he lost his goats, and a butcher contacted him and said, you know what, I don't want my name called, but a man to sell him some goats. When he go in the area where the man telling me go there, he get the goat to him. But the man said, you want that goat you see there? It must be thief go them guys are there. And the same butcher been going there and buy goats for how much years now from them thief for them. They will give you one to make you think they're working with you. But they all are thieves. You must set up this sting operation undercover butchers to catch those thieves in the community. Because they want thief in them and call the butcher, And the butcher buying from them. And the butcher know fully well they are thieves. But they will play games with the police as usual. I've been on the road already, I found my call quite impulse. After 2 weeks, I'm spending $1,000 to go and help me to look for the cow. This thing is a serious criminal operation. It's not a game of playing there. And the police and them must realize and get on board. Pretty last is a serious thing. Because it's not a game of playing there, it's serious thieves. People are in jail, people are smoking cocaine, people are involved in illegal operation, are doing that to them. Thieves, serious crime for fellows, and you must get on board to understand how serious this thing is. A butcher tell you he helping you. Butchers are thieves. You have to know that. Have a nice day, brother.
Thank you, caller. Thank you for your contribution this morning. Officer, any response to the caller this morning, if need be?
Well, what I could say is that I would believe that persons in authority is listening, and those are good suggestions, and I would believe that they are being taken note of.
All right, let's go back to the phone line. We do have another caller. Caller, good morning. You're live.
Hi, thank you very much. Pleasant good morning. Morning to the officer. Well, I'm sitting here with a frustrated heart. 1 year, April of last year, I was robbed on the Belmont Road, Stones Gap, trying to do a service, a bus service, and I was robbed by this assailant. I immediately went to the fire station, and with all the information that I had, because I had some good information about the guy, and the fire station sent me to the South St. George. Well, I went to South St. George. Unfortunately, what had happened was, 1 month after, 2 of the items that was robbed from the vehicle appeared in NIS office. NIS called me to say, well, I came in there and I left these documents there. That never happened. So I'm wondering here, how did these items got into NIS's office? All right. Well, then I went back to the station and made reports, whatnot, etc. Unfortunately, I wouldn't call the police officer's name, but he told me that he was going to do some investigations and whatnot, etc. And to this day, I mean, I have all the information. People know the guy. They know his nickname and whatnot, etc. He's from some part in Grenville. He operates some part in Jean Anglais and Belmont and whatnot, etc. And I'm wondering here, because my phone, $500, and a few US and whatnot, etc. and whatnot. All these things I miss. I'm frustrated. I don't know. I can't understand. As a farmer, there are two farmers where I have my land. And they promised to help me to take care of my land because I lost my leg in a coal pit. No, I can't really attend to the lands as I should on a regular basis. These two farmers tell me that they will assist me to take care of the lands, and whatever they get there, they will send some for me. I mean, it's maybe over 4 years going now. And I was reasonably and reliably informed that these two farmers, as a matter of fact, one man saw one farmer digging my yams, and that said farmer put a cow in my land and destroy and whatnot, etc. $300 and something worth of damages. I mean, and I can't understand what is actually happening, but I'm frustrated. Have a good day, sir.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. I'm not sure if you want to respond to the caller in terms of what he said in the information that was given out. If anything, you could respond to.
I will not. Whatever advice you could offer. I'm not in a position really to speak on the report that he would have made. For me to say anything on it, it would be unfair to him or unfair to the officers involved in the investigation. However, as he spoke about his property being damaged by some cow, I wonder if he had made a report. And if he hasn't made a report, then he should make a report to the nearest police station so that it could be sorted out.
All right. Corporal Antoine, we have gotten to that stage moment. We're going to take a wrap for today's program. Anything in closing before we take a wrap for this morning?
Well, in closing, I just want to encourage every citizen out there to remember safety, remember the do's and don'ts, business owners as well. And let me take the time to wish everyone the best for the holiday season. And remember, when it's all said and done, we have lives to continue with.
All right. Of course, Corporal Antoine, I want to thank you a whole lot for being on the program this morning, sharing information that you thrown out to our listening and viewing audience. And I hope the listening and viewing audience would adhere to some of the information that we thrown out this morning and prevent themselves from becoming a victim of from an individual who wants to prey on them. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Hey, folks, that's how we take a wrap for today's edition of To The Point. Join me again tomorrow, once your body permits, for another edition of To The Point. Have yourself a great day, folks. That's where we say goodbye.